Joined now on the broadcast behind the mic with Stew Kernan, the voice of the Hamilton Bulldogs, formerly the voice of the Sudbury Wolves. It's black and yellow in Hamilton this year, big rebrand in the offseason, and going from the Montreal Canadiens colors to the Steel City colors. Stew, how is that playing in Hamilton this year?
Yeah, you're right. A total rebranding of black and gold, the same colors as the CFL's Hamilton Ticats, and it's a great partnership with the city. This is a football city. There's no doubt about it, and they love their hockey. And it just made some pretty good sense to go into the black and gold, and I think everybody's really embracing it, and you're seeing more sweaters out there on the streets and in the stands, and even when we go on the road, you see black and gold everywhere you go. I think it was a good move, and I think the community has really embraced it.
You look at the team that's in the middle of the pack. Last year was a really rough year. Tell us about the progression going forward this year. Is this kind of where they expected to be?
Of course, a team that didn't make the playoffs last season, so there were some expectation with so many guys coming back. Some great young guys added to the lineup as well this year, and they got off to such a great start. Anticipation and predictions all of a sudden started ramping up that, okay, we don't have to worry about just thinking about playoffs. Maybe we can think about winning our division and maybe challenging for first place overall in the conference. The first 2 or 3 weeks of the season went extremely well for the team, really good record, scoring lots of goals. Then they started to run into some injuries. Matt Luff, the leading scorer on the hockey club, has been out 3 or 4 weeks now with a separated shoulder, and that's really hurt the team. They've had a couple of other key injuries. They've come back down to earth, gone through a bad stretch before last night when they beat Mississauga. They had gone on a stretch where they'd lost 8 of their last 9, and as a result, they started to drop down the conference a little bit. I think the team, once everybody gets healthy and once they get back to the way they were playing prior to some of the injuries, I think it should be a pretty good second half for the team.
Wanted to focus on 2 NHL draft picks of Canadian teams, Will Bitton, a Montreal Canadiens draft pick, and Cole Candela, a Vancouver Canucks draft pick.
Will Bitton, of course, was picked up 3 games into the season, and what a great addition. He is a 30-goal scorer last season. Now, since he's been here, the first maybe month and a half, goals weren't coming for Will. He was certainly getting the chances, creating opportunities. Over the last 2 weeks, I would say, and he got another goal last night, he's starting to put the puck in the net. It was just a matter of time. There's just too much talent in Will Bitton not to produce like he did last season. Cole Candela is a pretty steady defenseman for the Hamilton Bulldogs. I think they might have thought a little bit more would come as far as offense from Candela, but again, he's really concentrating, and I think he got that from the Vancouver camp. They wanted him to be offensive when you can, but you're a defenseman. You got to look after your own end, and I think that's one thing that Cole is really trying to focus on.
And now looking towards the future, recently 2 players named at the top prospects game, Mackenzie Entwistle, and of course, a last name familiar to hockey fans, Matthew Strome.
Matthew, of course, is the youngest of the 3 Strome brothers, and one thing about Matthew, I think he's bigger than his 2 brothers, and I think that might be to his advantage. There's been a little bit of talk about his skating, but I think his skating has come a long way, even since the beginning of the season. He's leading the team offensively now since Matt Luff went down with his injuries. So I think there's no doubt that he's going to be a good NHLer. As for Mackenzie Entwistle, another big body, had a great year as a rookie last year and has picked up where he left off last season. And again, his points aren't coming as fast as they did earlier in the season. But again, he's working hard. He's getting lots of chances. And with a young guy, a 17-year-old like that, he's going to be around probably for at least another 1 year, maybe 2 more years in the Ontario Hockey League. And I think by the time he's done, he's going to be another good NHLer.
Well, should make the future fun for you, and hope things are well in the present as well. Thanks for this, Stu. Best of luck to you and the Bulldogs going forward.
Really appreciate it, and have a good holiday.
That's Stew Kernan, the voice of the Hamilton Bulldogs, joining us at the intermission. You're listening to McDonald Auto Group, Screaming Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.